Hello, OBS, and it's not picking up Yulwei. What's going on? Why is everything broken? Yulwei, talk, please.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to the VCS. Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Amazing
Good start. Fantastic start. We're doing about as well as the VCS this weekend, because as you might have noticed, we haven't been here for a couple days because Vietnam. They decided to just play everything off stream, which meant we couldn't do anything. But how are you, Yulwei? How have you been feeling?
I had a good night's sleep yesterday, so I'm feeling better. Yeah. A little bit annoyed that we all missed all the good games, all the Flash and 𝗂𝗲𝗿 series, and are now stuck with OPG in percent for today. But, it actually has playoff implications, so fair enough.
But we do have to, OPG, best macro in the league. So, let's see how they do. Before we get into today's games, we will quickly recap everything that we did see. Which series would you like to start with, Yulwei? We don't have to go in order, but just tell me where you want to start.
Well, let's just start with the first one, because that's actually relevant for our first game. We can just very briefly look at OPG against Flash, which was basically a stomp with Flash's second team, and Flash still stomped. So it was a little bit of a sad watch. I actually watched those games today, and Jerry got hard mid-diffed by 𝗀𝗏, which is something you don't ever hope to be saying, because
that's a horrible sentence.
Oh man, he struggled big time. I expect PHT to be back in today, honestly, after Jerry's performance. So not the greatest for him. His debut looked a little bit better, but other than that, nothing much to say about the series other than, it was just the team being much better. OPG actually had some nice plays around bot lane. DK looked decent again. Vid looked surprisingly good. But overall, all the team fights went Flash's way, and in the end, was pretty clean 2-0.
You say Vid. I'll admit I didn't watch this match back yet. I still have to catch up on a few of the VODs. You say bot lane looked good. I'm looking at a 10-2-5 Slater in game 1. But hey.
Yeah.
Maybe that's still good for OPG. Because it is, let's be fair. It's the 8th place team against the second place team. And potentially, there's an argument for them being the best team, despite losing to 𝗀𝗲𝗏. But anyway, do you have any other comments on this one? OPG, of course, will be playing tonight. We have the sort of rookie team clash. Is there anything else out of this game that you think's relevant?
No, we can move on. The 2 𝗀𝗏𝗏 series maybe next. 𝗀𝗏𝗏 actually played the very important series against 2 of the other top 4 teams.
We'll have a look at 𝗀𝗏𝗏 versus 𝗬𝗏𝗏. We have the first 2 games on screen. It did go to 3. So you want to talk through game 1 and 2, and then I'll put the graphic for game 3 up. What are you spotting there that's interesting? So 𝗬𝗏𝗏's got the win in game 1.
Yeah, and apparently it was actually quite a stomp, looking at the stats at least. It looked like 𝗬𝗏𝗏 was in control there. I also heard that one of the games was a little bit of a 𝗬𝗏𝗏 throw, so I'm excited to go back and watch this series, because it was apparently pretty close. This could be a matchup in the playoffs. 𝗀𝗏𝗏 gets secured first place with their 2 victories, so they get to choose between 3rd and 4th seed, whichever they want to play. They 2-0 Team Secret and 2-1 𝗬𝗏𝗏, so I would expect them to go Secret and give 𝗬𝗏𝗏 over to Flash. So maybe we won't see 𝗀𝗏𝗏 against 𝗬𝗏𝗏's best of 5, but I would be excited to watch that, because 𝗬𝗏𝗏 is one of the teams that can actually challenge 𝗀𝗏𝗏 in full-on 5v5 clashes if they don't fall behind in the early game. We can see the stats on the first game. Artemis 8-1-5, Ronopi 0-1-14. Amazing stats. They just stomped 𝗀𝗏𝗏 there.
Yeah, it looks good. That's a good performance out of 𝗬𝗏𝗏. I will just bring up game 3 so we can see how it all ended. I did catch the very end of this game on the marathon broadcast, and it looked interesting, to say the least. I literally only saw the last 30 seconds. It's a lot of games to catch up on. I am sorry that we haven't seen all of these games, but they were basically literally just streamed in an 8-hour marathon, and I love me some League of Legends, but whew, that's a lot of League of Legends. So
Yeah, and I mean, I'm definitely going to go back and watch them and analyze them in detail for the playoffs. But today, nothing and none of these teams is playing, so
Exactly.
didn't really make sense to spend time and analyze them for today. So apologies for the lack of analysis here. We can just really bring up the stats because we haven't actually seen the games.
Yeah, we might need to start whipping on just a little bit faster so we don't lose anything going into the next one. So we will move on to Team Secret versus Flash, which was also did go to 3 games. So I mean, this is so game 1 was still 𝗀𝗏, and shockingly enough, Team Secret managed to win when they brought 𝗀𝗏 in. Weird.
How can that happen?
So I the only thing I know about this match is 𝗀𝗏 stole a Baron. That didn't help them, apparently. That's all I know.
Yeah.
And then
the thing that excites me in this whole series is Yoshino's pick in the second game. That's actually the most interesting thing to me out of all the picks here. It's finally a Poppy. It's finally a Poppy into Camille. We've waited so long to see this counter matchup, and for some reason everyone refuses to play Poppy into Camille. Even though it's a super good matchup, it's great for team fighting. You don't even really get outscaled in side lane. So I wanted to see this Poppy, and I'm excited to go back and watch game 2 for that very reason. But also 𝗏𝗏𝗏 back to some of his carries, and Slater 9-1 and 6 on Senna. No idea how that happened, so that's going to be exciting to watch.
I'm keen to see some of that, and then of course those are the stats for game 3, as Flash did end up getting over the line. That's expected. I think there's a pretty big gap between 𝗲𝗏 and Flash and everyone else. I mean, Team Secret's not a bad team. Cerberus are not a bad team, but they are a cut below the top 2. The top 2 VCS teams are very good at the moment, which is not good to see, of course. And then we did have the last series, if we will just go briefly over that before we start talking about today's games, which was Team Secret versus 𝗲𝗏, which was a bit more of a clean affair. And Yulwei, our wife is not performing very well. Our beautiful dear wife.
She's doing good in other leagues.
She is, but not in the VCS.
Yeah, it's sad.
She's got a 0% win rate. Lilia, she's struggling.
So I actually saw the first game of this matchup, and Team Secret in team fights kind of gone wrecked. The stats look worse than the game actually was. It was pretty close until 20 minutes, and then 𝗲𝗏 found a good engage from 𝗧𝗏𝗏, and they just basically wiped the floor with the Team Secret in the team fight. Immediately went to Baron, and then accelerated the game where they could win easily. But the early game actually looked good for Team Secret. I haven't seen game 2. And I'm excited to see another Lilia, but it's sad to see her lose all the time. Hopefully Levi will pick her up in playoffs so we can actually see her win a few games. Or Ego.
I'd like Ego to play it. Apparently Levi has said in an interview that he doesn't like Lilia, which is...
Oh no.
I don't know if I believe him, because I don't think that's possible, because she's the best champion in the game.
She's amazing.
She is the second best jungler in the game, so that's good. She's definitely player. But play Kindred more. But let's kind of talk about the games we have tonight. There are playoff implications, technically. Do you want to run us through? Yeah,
especially for the first series.
You want to give us the deets?
So right now, 5 teams are locked in players, and 1 team is locked out of players. Which means with 1 player spot left, we have Percent and 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏 competing for the last spot. And 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has the head-to-head over Percent. So if they can tie Percent, they will automatically qualify. The problem here is, 1, they are a series behind. They are 3 and 3 and 10. So they need to win their series later today against EVOS, but they also need to rely on Percent losing to OPG, which is pretty unlikely considering that OPG hasn't won a series in a long time. They won the very first one against 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and then haven't won since then. Then they are on a 12 series losing streak and are going to finish as one of the worst regular season records ever. It's not the worst, luckily. There was a team that went 0-12 a few years ago, so that's at least not OPG's new record, a sad record here.
What was the stat that we came up with before we went live? If you take VGA and OPG, because they're almost the exact same team, they're what, 3 and 28 if they
Yeah,
lose
3
tonight?
and 25, I
3 and
believe.
25,
Yeah. 28
yeah.
series and 3 wins. So.
That's not the best record. I mean, I had a suggestion, and you know, I'm just saying this is a freebie. If you want more suggestions, you do need to pay me, but this one's a freebie. Don't build your team around PHT. Maybe get a good mid laner. Just an idea.
So I can understand where you're coming from. I'm also disappointed in his performances, but I actually have to say
he's not as bad as
PHT
Victory.
is
He's not
kind of the
Victory.
best. Yeah, and he kind of has the highest ceiling of all the OPG players. Maybe
Zin?
aside from DK. DK
Zin?
is very good.
I
But
think Zin's
PHT
like
actually
a good player.
Yeah, Zin is pretty good too. But PHT actually had some very good carry games on his good champions. He's actually a very decent player. The problem with him is not that he's a bad player. The problem with him is he seems to be uncoachable, or for some reason no one can contain him, or I'm not sure what's going on. Because just don't put him on ADCs. Just don't put him on his whatever it's called. Maybe he likes to play those champs. Maybe he thinks he's good on those champs, but just put him on Rice. Just put him on stuff like Rice, where he can actually excel and carry games. So I wouldn't mind to see PHT again, because Jerry in the last series was very rough.
I just feel like you need him. You need a better cast behind him. Like I don't think you want him as the focal point of your team because he's too inconsistent. We'll have to see what he can do here in this game as we are headed on into draft. I will also say, you might have noticed, there's only 2 of us here tonight. Vinny's abandoned us. I was going to say it at the top of the show, but we got sidetracked. He abandoned us for the LJL. How dare he? Everyone spam him on Twitter and call him a traitor. Go cyberbully Vinny. But let's talk about this draft. That's some interesting bans already.
A lot of ADC focus, so setting up for maybe an Ezreal first pick for %. They, of course, have the Draven. 𝗀𝗲𝗄 is in. That's interesting. We can talk about that later. They, of course, have Draven in the infantry as well, with the best Draven player probably in Vietnam. So let's see what they want to first pick. Zoe banned for Glory. Jerry's in, by the way, so some interesting decisions here. Jerry's still in over PHT. Not sure what happened to PHT. Maybe he's just misbehaving, maybe he's ill, who knows? We don't have any information. For me, even more interesting is that YT is starting again instead of Tado.
I mean, maybe, look, this is my theory, because we've got no information. Maybe they think PHT is why they're losing, because his name stands for Pretty Horrible Team. So if you take him out, they're a good team.
Okay. Next level strategies.
I'm struggling here, Yulwei. We've been off for 2 days and I've lost it. Oh, help me. What do you think of these drafts? 𝗂𝗍𝗿𝗄𝗏 Graves, you loving it?
Absolutely. Great champions. Especially because now we know it's top lane 𝗂𝗍𝗿. It's awesome. I have to say, Kiaya's 𝗂𝗍𝗿 top lane is actually the only one I want to watch, because he solo killed Renekton, I think 2 times in the game he played against Coated. So, okay, Glory. Calm down there. So far, the draft is pretty standard. Renekton first pick is something that happens a lot in VCS, and I personally don't mind it too much. I know a lot of people hate Renekton first pick. I feel like he's a fine first pick. He's blind.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
He can play almost every matchup fine, even against most ranged matchups. If it's not Quinn, he's kind of decent. And Renekton in Italy offers one of the strongest top dive combinations. So far, %'s draft looking pretty topside focused with a weak side bot laner in Ezreal. Okay, and the Jhin, the answer into Ezreal.
Okay. I guess they...
So
we will push down the ADC pool, to be fair. 3 ADC bans.
So I believe this is just to get lane control and play around bot side. Because you can already see topside as the focus for %. And maybe they want to abandon Simon a little bit and let him play weak side, which is dangerous on 𝗂𝗍𝗿 because he automatically pushes, so puts himself into dangerous positions.
But does
this Jhin
get lane control against Ezreal? It does against things
I
like
believe
Ashe
so,
and Caitlyn.
Yeah. He has a lot of wave clear, so I believe he can pretty easily push Ezreal under turret and maybe try to get some turret plates too. So he's kind of budget Caitlyn in this draft, I would say.
Very budget Caitlyn. This is Caitlyn when you're bargaining with a piece of string.
Yeah. It surprised me too. I think you can just pick any ADC basically. Vayne could have actually been nice here into Ezreal, has free laning phase. And probably not something Vid is too comfortable with. So I hate Jhin as a champion. I think he's fine here as a lane control pick. You're going to get outscaled in the ADC position, of course. But well, if you get a strong control mage with a lot of damage for Jerry, maybe you can actually teamfight later on and have Jhin function as the secondary carry from behind.
Sorry, I'm just fixing something. That's in it for a second. You're gonna see you're gonna hear random noises for a moment, stream. It's okay. It's all good. Keep talking.
So Zoe's banned. Oh no. Set mid lane would be horrible for their composition. If it's set support, I am not the biggest fan into Ezreal of set support, but I guess it could do okay. I'm really not a big fan of set at all here. I think it doesn't fit their team composition too well.
It's just it's red. It's pretty red.
It's all AD too. They need a big AP carry.
𝗲𝗄𝗏's in, by the way.
Hi. Oh wow.
Haven't seen him all.
Who is that?
Wait, content team, 𝗊𝗍𝗍𝗍, I see you in chat. Can you remind us who that is?
Wait, he played for someone. I think he was.
It's not 𝗍𝗏, is it?
SGB, right?
It's not 𝗍𝗏.
No, 𝗍𝗏 is on Cerberus.
Yeah.
This is 𝗲. 𝗲 is a different player. Okay, we go very early game focus for OPG. Okay. Jerry with another assassin. He played Qiyana in the game against Flash. Looked kind of. Well, he got a lot of kills early on, but he looked very bad in lane. He got pretty much lane kingdomed by Null on Syndra. So, picking last pick LeBlanc into Glory's open Lucian sounds very dangerous to me.
I think I will give a bit of credit. It probably can get a fair bit done. There's 3 squishies for it to go for. I don't hate the LeBlanc pick.
I'm not the biggest fan of LeBlanc into someone like Leona. And I don't think she wins lane into Lucian either. So can be a little bit rough here. Let's see. If she needs like 1 or 2 kills to really get ahead. And then she can actually look for kills all over the map. Because everyone is squishy on the other side. Besides maybe top and support. So yeah, Jerry needs some early skirmishes to really get ahead. And try to bring his team over the line. He's the main carry of this composition.
I think they do have, like, their team comp, you're gonna hate me when I immediately say this, but let me justify it. I actually think it's a pretty cohesive team comp. It's just dive buddies, right? Everyone just jumps forward while Jhin ults. I'm not saying that's good, but I think that's what it is, right? Like, at least it has a plan.
So... yeah, I agree with you. The problem is, where's the 𝗲𝗍𝗍𝗍? Like, you have Q from Simon. It's pretty unreliable, I'd say, especially into something. Yeah, set ult is very slow. Phase breaker can only really function with Flash. So you have Ezreal and Lucian on the other side. How are you ever getting to them? So I think the pinnacle or the cornerstone, rather, of this team composition has to be Jerry, and Jerry needs some early kills. If Jerry is actually like 2-0 in the mid game, he can try to assassinate the Ezreal, he can try to assassinate the Lucian, and apply a lot of pressure, enable his team to actually threaten around objectives. So for me, I'm looking at Jerry.
Sky emotes.
That's a very big emote.
Well, we will,
Sky is happy.
Of course, now our analyst section is over. We'll be throwing over to our casters on the Rift. It's going to be Everyday and Yulwei, bringing you all the action there. Thanks, Everyday.
Wait, what?
Thank you for doing those.
Who are those two guys?
Oh, I don't know. They're not very good casters, but we have to have them. But no, of course. This is, a bit back to our roots. Kind of like it.
It's
just me and you, man.
It's vintage VCS.
Yeah, vintage VCS English. You gotta love it. So, where are your eyes being drawn in this early game? What are you looking at? What are you thinking?
So, Nidalee Renekton always has my eyes glued to the top lane. So, I believe there's going to be some action from 𝗀𝗲𝗏 towards YT and towards Simon. So, it's always then on the other jungler to try and come up with a counter plan. Does he want to adapt his path and go for something like a counter gank in top lane, or does he want to focus on bot side, which can be hard. You don't really have the greatest ganking jungler, right, for bot lane, and it's an Ezreal, so I'm interested to see what DK does with his early game. For me, he's by far the best player on this team, so let's see if he can come up with a plan to accelerate Jerry to help Simon over the very hard laning phase into Renekton Italy. So that's he's heading towards enemy blue. He was spotted on their ward.
Ooh, there's a gank in the mid lane. Can we have a look in the mid lane? I'd love to look in the mid lane as Glory's dead. Good stuff. Good start. Good start! Woo! Yeah! Hell yeah! 2 days off!
Well,
let's get a replay.
I feel like we really need to ask the observers to actually utilize their minimap.
I'm going to put it out there. Auto Director would have caught that.
That's true. So that's the first gank in mid lane, and for some reason, 𝗀𝗲𝗄 was unable to flash away. And that's very bad start for him, and very good start for OPG. They need Jerry to get ahead. He didn't get the kill, which is a little bit unlucky. But a first assist for first blood is still 200 gold. It's almost a kill anyway. So that's the perfect start. And 𝗀𝗲𝗄 in a little bit of trouble now. He needs to show us his lane prowess against Jerry, the newest addition to the mid lane pool.
Yeah, it will be a bit of a test. 𝗀𝗲𝗄 has, he came in as the shining star of %, and then they kept putting him on Karma. So he's finally on a carry again. Let's see what he can actually do with it. Do we get a replay of that last play? Surely we get a replay. Is it just going to be a mystery? Did 𝗀𝗲𝗄 pay them off? No, here we go.
There we go.
All right, let's see what actually happened.
𝗀𝗲𝗄 forward and got chained.
Yeah, he's just dead. Okay. Maybe that's why they didn't show it. It was really boring. And DK hard stole that kill. That was a hard KS.
Should 𝗀𝗲𝗄 know this is happening?
Down in the bot lane, Lisa takes a lot of damage.
That's not enough damage to kill him.
We've been off for 2 days.
I'm just asking myself if 𝗀𝗲𝗄 needs to know that this gank could be coming. Because I feel like his E forward level 2 shouldn't... Okay.
Flash is being used here as 𝗃𝗀𝗄𝗏's under threat. DK arrives as well, but they're under tower, and you know what Graves thinks of towers. So it'll just be Summoners burned, and big lane control for Jhin and Set. YT getting pounded as well.
That's a very good trade. So, I think I was as surprised as Lisa was there when the sun flash out of nowhere came from high. I was like, what? What was that? But it forced the flash from 𝗃𝗀𝗄𝗏, so it's actually a very good trade for them, especially with this champion. Okay.
Into the top lane we go as the spears missed. Simon walks around the trap very nicely. Ooh, cops a spear on the way out, but it doesn't matter. So
now he needs to actually walk away further. That spear, he should have really dodged that, because now he's forced to run very far back. He's forced now to teleport back to lane. Just because of that one spear, his wave was in a position where he could afford to walk back to lane. I mean, it's still pushing kind of in favor of or towards YT, but there's the TP. So that one spear actually forced the TP. Nicely done from 𝗃𝗏𝗏 to at least get a little bit of an advantage in top lane, though YT had to teleport back too. So now we get to see some pure top laning, because no one can interfere, or they can't interfere, I should say, with anyone else.
𝗁𝗏 is just in the lane by himself, by the way. That was very bold. He just walked up to 𝗀𝗲𝗄𝗏 and said, "You're not going to do anything. What are you going to do?" Yeah.
He was there to clear the wards. He's the janitor of mid lane. Needs to clear the wards.
He does it for free, by the way. The janitor. I'm still kind of just reeling from how we've started this game. I'm a bit boggled.
Well, Simon is so tanky,
dashing forward into the lightning, but has access to the Dominus. He's getting sliced on down. The flashes are being traded. One more will do it, and YT gets the solo kill. Executioners coming in big.
I cursed him. I said he's so tanky, and then was level 5 against level 6, and just died to Renekton. I can feel you. Renekton deals an unbelievable amount of damage. He's a very annoying champ to deal with. But that's a good start for 𝗬𝗲, showing us that he still wants to be the starter for the playoff run. Because, of course, top lane has been a little bit of... it has been in contention for percent. 𝗬𝗲 or 𝗬𝗲. Sometimes 𝗬𝗲 looks better. Sometimes 𝗬𝗲 looks better. His last 2 years, 𝗬𝗲 ran it down really hard. So I know 𝗬𝗲 is back in. So it's good to see him succeed on one of the 𝗬𝗲 champs. This is actually more of a 𝗬𝗲 champ than a 𝗬𝗲 champ.
I think Renekton's an everyone champ. Let's have a look at how this one happened. Ooh,
so where does he hit level 6? Oh, the cannon. Yeah.
That's a bit unlucky.
And he immediately strikes. That's just very standard play, but also very good. And Simon overextended in lane because of the earlier push and because of his passive. That's why top lane 𝗬𝗲 is a garbage champion, because he can't ever control his wave.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again punished for pushing too far forward, and then one of the best chasing champs in top lane.
Ooh, hello. We have a bit of a dive coming in as 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and the Leona are going to have to figure things out. They cannot do it. They trade one back with the tower, but then the shotgun rings on in. DK gets one. So it's 2 for 1 in the bot lane.
And you know, usually I say Graves is very bad at dives because he can't attack people behind turrets. This time it actually came in handy because the enemies just hard focused on avoiding Graves auto attacks and forgot about the big Haymaker W damage. That was like 200 damage on both of them, true damage, well, because they hit behind the turret against Graves auto attacks that wouldn't have dealt that much damage. So nicely done from OPG to create the dive, and this is one thing they've played around this week a lot, bot side focus. DK has come bot side, and Vid has played a very good laning phase in both of the games against Flash, where they actually got kills on Slater and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 in laning phase 2, so
impressive.
Good repeat of that strategy.
Yeah, maybe they can ride this bot lane to success. Of course, they do have an AD carry that doesn't do damage in team fights, so that's a shame. I mean, maybe if he gets fed enough, we get the 5 Infinity Edge Jhin.
Oh god, please
bringing out the real solo queue strats. That's a fun.
So that's
build.
an uncontested Herald here. Very good top lane vision control for percent. So they planned this or pre-planned this whole play like minutes before it started. Perfect rotation from Lisa too to get added safety for the top side. Now it's just a free Herald. OPG hasn't even, I think they haven't even realized what happened. Now the question mark ping came in bot side. So they are very far behind play. This is something OPG is kind of known for. They're not the greatest at reading the map situation.
But they've got the best macro in the league, dude.
Yeah, of course.
They've got better macro than percent, obviously. God.
So everyone trying to go towards top side, while OPG wants another bot dive. But this is just a 2-on-2. I don't think they can make it happen here.
No, without the set level 6 as well. That's not good. That's not going to happen. And
Simon has no TP.
By the time he gets 6, there'll be a solar flare, and you don't want to dive into the solar flare.
Graves is here again. They've set up all the vision to not show Graves.
Yeah,
but good sniff from percent.
Yeah, they rate it. That's going to be a lot of tower damage. That's potentially first tower.
Nope. Ooh, nope. There's a Herald in top lane.
You can't outrace Herald. Season 10.
So it's very much a split map. Percent is control on top side, and OPG has full control on bot side, which gets the ADC ahead. Usually you would like your ADC with more gold than your top laner, especially in Season 10, where it's all about the team fights later on. But when Renekton is compared to Jhin, I might actually favor the Renekton side of things, especially for mid-game team fights. So it's a big lead in bot lane, and Vid needs to show us they can actually carry this one. But it's still only a Jhin being accelerated, and the Renekton looks super strong already. So we have to see how this plays out. Renekton pretty good into Jhin too, because he can kind of just jump on top of him and assassinate him in team fights. So if this lead stays how it is, and Jerry doesn't get accelerated, I feel like I still favor percent's composition.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be said that Jerry has fallen not too far, but still behind in CS, despite the early kill. So this LeBlanc pick still really not showing why it was taken. We haven't seen much LeBlanc in the VCS.
Our biggest LeBlanc player is not a starting player anymore, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now sitting on the bench, so Yeah, 𝗬𝗏 hasn't really ever shown us much LeBlanc.
Oh, hello, there's a bit of an engage though as Jerry went forward to try and get the damage out, but Glory had backup, and his posse makes sure he gets the kill.
Wait, Percent got it wrong. You're supposed to feed Jerry, not be fed by Jerry. What is going on there?
Feed Jerry, that boy needs some food. he's a small lad.
Yeah, that's why I don't like LeBlanc into Leona, by the way. It's so hard to play. Leona can just solar flare all the time on top of your clone, so you can't ever really do anything. If you jump forward, as you just saw there, 𝗲𝗲 comes for the rescue, and Glory gets a free kill. Now Percent with some control and... Okay.
Okay, ult's traded in the top side. Simon's had to leap away, but he is safe.
He is safe, but is he useful? We'll have to see in later team fights.
He's a top lane volibear, so no.
The Percent wasn't able to actually get the dragon off the kill on LeBlanc because there was a little bit too much control in River. They still really want this dragon because OPG already got the first one. This could be Ocean Rift with already 2 drakes secured for OPG. So they don't really want to give this up, but they still have to.
Yeah, that's
just too much control
there by Percent.
I think they played this very conservatively. They were kind of scared to get drawn into a fight against a very strong Grace, against a pretty strong Jhin on one item, when your Ezreal kind of is still kind of useless. So even though they got the nice pick on Jerry, I don't actually think it's that bad a call. It hurts. It hurts quite badly because you really wanted that dragon, and stopping the dragon snowball is a big objective too. I feel like that's an okay play to make.
Do you know something I don't? Because you made a completely unprompted Ocean Drake prediction, and then we headed to the ocean. Like, do you know something I don't hear your way? You in the Matrix?
Yeah, I can see stuff. I kind of stole the eyes of the observers, so now I can see more stuff while they can't see anything.
𝗲𝗏𝗏 and Simon are going at it. Lisa coming to reinforce. This bear could be skinned. The solar flare comes out, the flash, but the Zenith Blade is good to follow. He's a big bear though, and bears eat cats, especially when they're backed up by men with shotguns. But in this case, everyone does disengage.
Maybe not the correct combination of players to gank this volibear. Getting the kill there with only Nidalee damage is quite rough, as we just saw. They got the flash out of him, which is nice for the next team fight, so you can't flash engage on any of your carries. What is going on here? High looking for another play. Here's Hex. Oh, he actually has his real flash available.
Ooh, fancy. A set with a real flash up. That's rare. You don't spot those very often. Set normally burns it like instantly. Because how much you love Hex Flash, so...
Let's look at some of the early items here. Very strong Grace itemization, going for lethality. Do we like that? I think we do.
Let's volibear go 𝗂𝗲𝗄.
Yes, there's not a lot of armor either on the other side, so it's a very early acceleration, a very early spiking build, which, yeah, sounds good to me. Makes Graves a little bit more relevant in the mid game, which is always something you use Drive for, because he isn't really as a champion normally.
Yeah.
On the other side, it's double blade though, so that is very strong in side lanes. I would like to see a little bit of 1-3-1 setup for Percent, just really double down on your side lane capabilities for Renekton and Lucian, because no one really can stand up to them. Maybe Volibear can actually match the Lucian, but I don't believe for long. So let's see how they play this out. It seems like they are more focused on objectives though, so next one is going to be Herald number 2 to break some of the outer turrets. Most likely mid lane.
Yeah, would like to see the mid lane opened up, get a bit more map control. Ooh, big 𝗂𝗲𝗄𝗏. He just got deleted.
Yep, lethality Grace in action. He actually deals a lot of damage if he gets to auto attack.
LeBlanc was there as well.
LeBlanc was there for a little bit of extra damage too. And this Ezreal still has no armor whatsoever. So he's actually very susceptible to getting one shot by the Grace.
Good culling does come out to clear the wave. 5 members around.
You need to be careful.
He's got a lot of backup. He's a tanky boy with that Haymaker shield and the like, so he's alright. And it looks like OPG will just keep control of this mid lane and at the very least delay that Herald spawn.
So gold-wise, this is a positive trade. Of course, immediately you get 1 kill. The enemy team just gets 100 gold from the Herald. But if % is able to get the mid lane turret, the 1 kill didn't actually do much for you. It's another kill. It's actually a kill for Jerry. That's nice. But still...
To be fair, they were never getting the Herald anyway. So it was essentially a kill that just got handed to them. So
that's true.
Why not, right? It's not really a trade.
Now, ideally, you want to get this kill while the enemy is on Herald, and then snowball the kill into the mid lane turret, so you actually get more than the enemy team, even though the enemy team got the free objective, right?
Yeah.
So that is your main objective when you look for that kind of pick. They just got the kill, it's better than nothing, for sure. I agree with you. It's better than just giving up the Herald. Hang on,
it could be equalized, though, as there it is. DK, he has lethality, but it's Glory who is lethal as they strike in the river.
And that's so much better in terms of timing per %. Look at the top left corner. Ocean Drake is going to spawn. DK is not going to be alive when the Ocean Drake spawns. It's also a free push in mid lane. Might not be the turret right now. It seems like they are really hard committing for the turret. It's kind of dangerous.
Oh, this is very dangerous. 𝗲𝗲 goes golden, but takes so much damage on the backside. This could be a bit of a throw from %. Have to use YT's teleport as well, but now they don't have their Leona with the dragon up. It's 5v4.
So greedy. Why did you go for that? There was free dragon. Now the dragon is actually not free at all. A DK is on the map. He's almost there. You have to give this dragon up. They will move to Ocean Soul Point.
That's a
% with the perfect counterplay. Oh man. % had the perfect play there to decelerate the game to get back into it.
Hang on a minute. They think they still want to go for it. No, that will be secured there by DK. The culling ripped out. It's going to be the first kill over to %, but quickly OPG answering back. They're on top of Renekton as well. Can he get a little bit more done before he goes down? No, Vic gets the kill. 𝗃𝗃𝗃 falls. The performance begins and ends very quickly. But OPG are looking good.
Yeah, moving through 3 dragons. They are actually in the better position to win this game. I'm still not quite sure about the team composition, but they have still collected some kills. Jerry is kind of useless still, but he can at least poke. And DK and Vid are in their 2-item power spike zone. So look at this. There's no reason for % to ever contest this one. They have given up their positioning, and it feels super bad because you know you had this dragon. You know you were in the better position to get this one, but then you messed up. So they're kind of chasing their loss, which is always a bad thing to do in League of Legends. Almost all the time you get punished for that. And once again, OPG wins the team fight. yeah.
Chase your losses. Gambler's fallacy. Don't have to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely not. And now % needs to come up with a different approach. They're still even in gold. They still have a super strong... well, no one is actually that strong individually, but their whole team is approaching the 2-item power spike.
Oh, Jerry's had some dinner, mate. As bang, he's going to get some more meat on his menu. LeBlanc, that's a champion.
Wait, what? Why could he do that?
Because there's no tank stats on Renekton.
Yeah, YT also didn't have his ult available. No flash either. So he just got one-shot by the LeBlanc that wasn't even fed. She was 1 and 2 at that point.
Yeah, but she hit the Luden's power spike and there's no tank stats.
Yeah.
Welcome to LeBlanc.
And penetration boots too, so extra damage against no MR Renekton. That bodes well for the side laning now, because LeBlanc is going to arrive at a state where no one can answer her. Because there is no MR on Glory either, so he can't really step up this to LeBlanc, to face LeBlanc either.
No, you definitely cannot. Once some Death Dances and that come in, obviously LeBlanc will start losing some effectiveness, but for now, well, there's a reason I ban her every game in solo queue when I play mid lane. I hate her. She does that. Jin has ripped out the big gun. Lisa, that was a horrible effort at blocking. As 𝗃𝗃𝗃 got hit by 3 of those shots. To be fair, 𝗃𝗃𝗃 didn't need to be moving. Just stand behind your Leona.
I hate Jin's ultimate so much. It's so annoying to play against. You get so nervous and then you move for no reason. Then oh no!
But you know that those nerves are they're getting it as well. Because it is the worst feeling as a
of course,
Jin
of
when you
course.
miss all of your shots and your team just pings you. Just the
I'm actually
question mark.
notoriously bad at these zoom out ultimates. I can't ever hit a shot on Jin or Xerath. It's so impossible for me.
Well, we'll have to see if YT can hit a shot on Simon, as all of Percent are coming to back them up. DK wanted to help his top laner out, but he's the sacrificial lamb. Can they get onto the second course? No, it looks like Simon will
skill shot
walk
for-
away.
Hit a damn skill shot, 𝗀𝗲𝗿, please! That was a free kill if you land a spear. Oh, man. Percent not looking very crisp. At least they get one kill. It's kind of useless, though, if you look at the timer. There's nothing to take for them.
Are you sure, Yulwei?
Okay.
Are you sure, Way?
I would not dare to talk about this big worm.
They are going for the Baron. There is the that's a little bit early, don't you think, Hi? Glory's the target now. I don't know why he went that early. Culling being ripped out just to deal some damage. Jerry! Boom! He goes in, springs the trap.
That's a jungler.
Lisa, he's in some trouble as well. True Shot Barrage deals a lot. That's just a LeBlanc clone. And Baron resets. So in the end, it's just 2 for 1 on the kills.
In the end, it actually looked better than I thought it would. But look at the timing for the dragon. So now it's on OPG to reset to get better map positioning. They have their jungler out, so this will be another 𝗬𝗃𝗏 secured in bot side. Look at the vision for Percent on the map. They are so hard. They are focused on top side completely. Look at that. 5 pink wards in the top side, and not a single ward in the bot side of the river. So Percent kind of completely disregarding the soul. It seems to be a little bit too late on the spawn, because Percent has definitely made a beeline there.
Oh, hello, but they've got a catch! And Jerry's caught in the mousetrap.
That's another very good timed, very well timed, I should say, catch to get the Ocean Dragon. This will delay the soul. No steal attempt for PDK. It's dangerous, because if you don't succeed, the enemy team gets Baron. So I can understand. He tried with ultimate. Fair enough. It's a low effort. Yeah, it wasn't even in range, that's true. Low effort steal attempt. But I feel like that's the right decision, even though you really want your Ocean Soul. The game is super close, so you don't really need to gamble on the Ocean Soul right now. You can just try in 5 minutes again. Maybe don't get caught. Maybe try to get a little bit better vision on the map. But yeah, it's still a very good sign for Percent. They are back in the gold lead. It's only 1k, and the game is still super, super close.
It absolutely is. It is a hard one to call. Honestly, the biggest factor is the Dragons at the moment. Percent, one badly timed mistake, gives up Ocean Soul, and their team comp is not good at dealing with Ocean Soul. It's a 90% win if OPG do pick up that soul.
Yeah, but there's a huge problem in itemization now, and that is lethality graves. Looking at armor and almost everyone on the other team. So, armor boots, not the greatest amount of armor for YT, but of course a lot of armor now for Ezreal and for Literally as well. So the carries you really want to hit are the ones that have armor now. So your lethality build is kind of falling off already. What is he going to do in teamfights? Trying to chase Glory, the champ that has 3 times your mobility? Probably not very likely. So this is a hard game to play for Grace once again. At least the Jhin is super, super strong. 3 items already. So maybe try to make this around short trades, very short trades, where Jhin can get his 4th shot in, a big crit on one of the big tanks, and the enemy team can't engage anymore.
I mean, Jhin has just picked up that Infinity Edge. He's on 3 items. So those 4th shots are very, very painful. Moving up towards TFT Jhin levels.
Especially because the enemy team doesn't have a full tank.
Yep.
Jhin struggles super hard against big front lines. A Jhin against the full tank is he can almost surrender in the late game if he's your main carry, because he just can't do anything against the big tanks, especially if they have a little bit of sustain. Not really the case with YT though. He's not built a single piece of armor, so this Jhin is going to pierce through him like a knife through butter. It's not really pierce, but whatever. You know what I mean.
Slice.
Slice, yeah.
I mean, you could pierce butter. You could stab butter. Why not? What's Butter gonna do? Tell its parents? Butter's parents don't care.
Probably a lot of fun to pierce Butter, by the way.
Is that what you do in your free time, Yulwei? Like, I'm reconsidering you moving out here now. If I'm gonna walk into the kitchen at 2 a.m. and you're stabbing the butter and just having a great time, I'm a little worried. Oh man. But let's move on from butter talk to some other creamy goodness, which is the item builds from %. Because I'm honestly liking everything I'm seeing. Not really liking that though.
Yeah, we talked about Graves and his struggles at killing carries, and the only carry he could kill is the one without armor, and that's Lucian. Lucian just died to Graves for no reason. What was he doing there? Lori, get you...
Well,
and that's a Baron attempt. There's the enemy jungler is alive. He's 1 level down though, so if DK is on top form, he should be able to secure this one. It's a little bit dangerous though.
It's 4v5. Like, this is a good call, I think, from OPG. At the very least, you get a good fight. Look at this high flank. He gets stunned up though. Oh, Leona going deep into the middle of 4 gets instantly killed there. But I think they might have done enough damage to dissuade the Baron, particularly with Glory.
Are we watching Cerberus? I think we're watching Cerberus in this game.
Cerberus versus Cerberus. Just
Baron
playing
is
around
the only
Baron
thing on the
minutes.
map you have to play around, apparently.
Yeah.
So, 50 seconds to Ocean Soul. Once again, a full reset from both teams. We are still super even in gold. This Ocean Drake could really decide this game. % needs another pick, and so far they have been able to get picks around Dragon. So, let's see. Still no vision on bot side. I'm not sure what's going on with the %'s vision control. They are so heavily focused on top side. Please just invest a few wards in the bot side too.
Yeah, you'd hope so. 20 seconds on this
20 seconds. Ooh, they're just running out of base. Is that enough time to burst the dragon? You could flip it here.
You absolutely
honestly,
could.
The 50-50 is much more in your favor. If you get the 50-50, you win the game. So why not?
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, if % get this dragon, who cares? It's just a second Ocean Drake. If you get it, you win. So this is a very scary situation for %. Jerry has a good flank. Can he come in?
The HP bar. Look at that.
2,500 on the dragon. Glory has to go gold. There it is. An Ocean Soul is secured. That is an absolute disaster here for %. OPG looking absolutely magnificent as now % trying to kite back. It's 4v5. They're going to be healing. And now it's hard to see OPG losing this game.
Absolutely is. SGB fans suddenly on the edge of their seats, because that is a big chance now. SGB needs OPG to win the series to have a chance at getting to playoffs, and % needs to calm down. They need to reset. They can still win this game, maybe. It's not likely now. There's the Baron. Jungler is down. What can you do about this?
Not a huge amount. Set with the big flank. He stops the show. The Crocodile goes gold immediately. Flashes away with the Dominus. But can they actually do anything? Oh, the curtain gets called.
Oh.
Can the actors get on stage? Big Koro's getting targeted out, dealing a fair bit of damage as he runs. But look at all of the traps. There's the shutdown. Jerry was the solution. He gets a double kill. They're healing up from Ocean Soul. And OPG, I think they're going to take game 1.
They need to finish it though, and there is the enemy jungler alive. He's 2 levels down now compared to DK, and they have very good positioning. Okay, Jerry.
Okay, yeah, maybe a little bit too hype there, Jerry. Culling coming out as well. High gets that big shield. Draktar is here. Oh, he steals it away! The Nidalee coming in clutch, just securing that buff, giving his team a chance, and he gets out as well. Glory doesn't, though.
Wait, DK had no smite. Look at his timer.
Uh-huh. He stole it with an E.
He smited something earlier.
He stole it with an E, baby.
Oh. No, Draktar flash smited, I think, but DK had no smite to secure it.
Oh, DK smite. Yeah.
But why? Why did he smite? DK, what did he do?
He has smite at the moment. So where does the smite come in? They both have smite.
Okay, maybe he just smited too early. Probably.
He must have. He's got it.
Okay, then he probably just... Wait, did he smite?
No, he never
Nidalee?
smited. No, he smited after the steal. He smited on the way out. He just missed his smoke.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, 𝗬𝗲𝗃 just got the...
He's 2 levels ahead of 𝗬𝗲𝗃.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad out of DK. That's pretty bad.
Ooh, that gives percent a little bit more time. They are actually still ahead in gold, which is surprising.
Yeah, I mean...
It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Let's be honest. They could potentially get towards some heal reduction now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 𝗣𝗃𝗲𝗿 needs to pick up some heal reduction. I really don't like that he went for penetration first. I think he needs to go executioners first in this case.
Well,
so now it's
they can't buy a Morello's is the thing. They can't get AoE Grievous Wounds. Oh,
wow,
here
that's
we
a lot
go.
of damage to
The combo, the dive buddies came in. 𝗬𝗲𝗃 goes down immediately. High taking a lot of damage on the way out, but they're dealing more. The healing that we just mentioned is coming in big. As Baron buff or no, you still have to get through these health bars from OPG. Currently, percent is not managing that as OPG looks to stampede forward.
It's a siege against Baron, which is always hard.
It's not that hard when you catch YT. And Jerry, once again, looking like the solution to OPG's problem. I told you sub out PHT and you're not a pretty horrible team anymore. As this is going to be the inhib going down. Vit reloads, looking to potentially... whack some bullets into people. Glory gets caught out with that Storm Razor slow. The dancing grenade goes in. The 4th shot doesn't quite land, but 𝗣𝗃𝗲𝗿 gets tagged up. Burns very low, but doesn't quite die. And now, this is going to be potentially the end of the game if OPG wants it.
That's a good sign.
They might think better. Oh, 𝗬𝗲𝗃 takes so much damage. And I gotta say, I'm liking the LeBlanc Jhin combo. The culling ripped in. Simon, maybe let someone else tank that one, man. Don't think you needed to die there, but OPG will successfully evacuate the base.
They will not be successful at cleaning out the game or finishing the game. They really wanted that on that push, and now they need to run. They need to run fast because YT heal reduction
has got some big shoes on. Can he catch? No, he can't. He got slowed down by the smoke screen and then had to dodge the deadly flourish.
Well, sometimes Renekton still looks like a bad champion. Just ran there and couldn't do anything. Still no armor, by the way. Please build some armor, YT. You really need some armor against the 2 super strong AD carries on the other side. Yeah. Not sure why his build is. Why are you going 𝗬𝗏𝗃 if the enemy is building lethality on the jungler? Can you please start to build armor?
That'd be nice. So, I mean, I'm just kind of chuckling because I love when old champions have home guard because they don't have run animations. So they just like wiggle really fast.
Look at the timer. Look at the timer. Yep. 20 seconds to the big price.
How does percent navigate this fight? They don't have the heal shred to get through the Ocean Soul. Can they rely on another steal?
Do they rely on another steal? Yeah. I feel like they almost have to. Can they even take a fight here? Jerry with a very good position.
Oh, if they catch Jerry, that's how you do it. That is a big damage source down. That is the combo with the deadly flourish gone as well. I was going to say it before. I liked how Jerry was going in and setting up the Jhin marks. Lisa's on the flank. Oh, and here we go. The showstopper flies into the good face breaker and the massive haymaker. This is all set on the start of this fight. 𝗬𝗏𝗃 trying to find a way away from the bear. Simon very, very low, but 𝗣𝗃𝗲𝗏 and Lisa, where was 𝗣𝗃𝗲𝗏? How was he on that side of the fight? Now it's a 3v3. The curtain call comes out. Everyone just backs off. Both teams still have the jungler. OPG healing off the dragon. 4k health as it begins to reset, but we'll get immediately aggroed once again.
They're stalling for Jerry. Jerry up in 1 second. He will walk there now. Oh, it's so low.
It's so low. And there it is, but it's secured by OPG. DK doesn't miss 2. And the dragon is roaring. The Jhin is shooting in. And that's going to be OPG taking game 1, Yulwei.
It most certainly is. Look at the minion wave. It's perfect already. It already secured one turret. No, I thought so.
Not quite.
But this is not going to be a problem. That's 2 AD carries against... Okay, that's Jhin against turrets too. That's first game for OPG. Very surprising outcome, but they earned it. That was not a big throw for percent or anything. OPG just looking like the better team in game 1.
Yeah,
impressive
absolutely.
stuff.
And sometimes the strategy of just smashing your head into every objective works when the enemy team decides not to attend them. So, that was a very impressive performance. And we'll be back in just a little bit to talk a bit more about that game and get prepped for game 2. Don't go anywhere, guys. We know it's been a little while since you've seen us. But we've missed you. We hope you've missed us. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes. See you then. Welcome back, everybody. That was a fun bit of a game between OPG and 𝗀𝗃, but as it turns out, when OPG fields these 5 players, it's just their bread and butter to walk it down mid and make sure that they get every objective. Yulwei, welcome back. How are we reacting to, well, it's got to be called an upset. How are you feeling?
Well, OPG won 1 game against 𝗀𝗃 last time around too, and that was the first game, so... I am not ready to call it in OPG's favor, but they looked much better than before. 𝗁𝗲? I'm still not quite sure about 𝗁𝗲. 𝗁𝗲 seems to be quite bad in laning phase, but has a good mind for mid-game fights. So he's kind of the opposite of PhD, which is funny, but also interesting to see how the team plays around him. Because PhD is actually a good laner if he doesn't int, which, 50% of the time. But... He actually stands up to all the other VCS laners in terms of CS, in terms of lane pressure, which it seems like 𝗁𝗲 can't do yet. But, I mean, his mid-game team fighting looked good, so let's see some more 𝗁𝗲. I need to see more footage to make my mind up.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point in the season, like, this game does matter for playoff implications, but not for OPG.
Yeah.
For OPG has nothing to play for. This is pretty much, if they win this series, 𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗄 have a chance if they were to beat 𝗂𝗏𝗏. Gotta say, I'm kind of rooting for OPG just so that our last series means something. Because if 𝗀𝗃 wins, then playoffs are locked.
Yeah, indeed.
So, OPG, make it interesting for us.
It would also be super funny to have OPG win the very first and the very last series of the season and lose everything in between. would be very special. Would be a very OPG thing to do. And of course, a good boost heading into the promotion tournament, where they are locked in last place for this league, no matter the outcomes of today. They are 2 series behind SGB, so even if they win and SGB lose, it's not possible for them to get 7th place. I haven't really followed VCSB, so I don't quite know about the strength of the teams. But I would probably guess OPG's favorite to get back.
From what we've been hearing, VCSB is pretty rubbish. It's like QTV and stuff still kicking around. So, but you never really know because it's never the same teams, right? Like, they just pick up players from other teams and stuff and just go, we're just going to have the best run possible at the relegations.
Vietnam is one of the biggest player bases in of all the servers, so there should be new talent come up. Yeah, yep. I think it's second biggest.
Yeah, it's behind the Ionia server in China, which is the biggest server. It's hardly surprising that China's got the biggest server, but yeah, Vietnam is second. So that is a lot of players. Theoretically, you could just grab people out of Challenger. Would recommend against picking up Pyke one tricks. Hasn't really worked out for OPG, but then again, last game he looked pretty hot. What do we think needs to change for 𝗀𝗃 if we want to be a little bit more serious for them to bounce back in game 2?
It's not that easy a question to answer, honestly. I feel like it has to start with the mid lane. I feel like you have to play a little bit more to your mid lane laning advantage for 𝗁𝗲. He should be able to get a bigger advantage over 𝗁𝗲, not die to a stupid level 2 gank when you get flash available. So, yeah, 𝗁𝗲 needs to step up. I feel like the Nidalee, it's not really an Eagle champ in my opinion. No, 𝗁𝗲𝗏, of course, was in. So if 𝗁𝗏𝗏 is still in, I guess the carry champ is fine, but I feel like Eagle is the better jungler of the two, and then Eagle needs to put on an Eagle champ to get better team fight pressure, because the biggest problem in the last game was actually just the team fighting. They struggled a lot against 𝑍, and 𝑍 is banned, so that makes a lot of sense to me. Hello, hello? Did I lose my connection? What happened? Oh,
Hello?
okay.
Hi.
Sorry. Okay. I didn't read that. That's my bad. I was very surprised.
Apologies. Sorry, I did have to run off for 2 seconds. Just to fix something. But thank you for covering your way, even though you didn't even know I was gone.
So, we are back to first pick Pantheon. I have no idea why or how, but here we are. Last week of VCS, and we are back to to Pantheon first pick. Probably support. It has been quite like proactive supports are good for OPG. They've made some stuff happen in the bot lane. He's a very good dive champion too, so I'd like to see them double down on the bot lane dive strategy. They've played against Flash and now against 𝗄 too, so kind of makes sense to me. I hate that he's first pick, but the champ in itself makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I don't know about first picking it while Caitlyn is still available. That one will be picked up by by %. YT has secured the Graves for 𝗲𝗲𝗿, so... double ADC, first rotation. What are you thinking so far, Caitlyn Graves?
Well, I said OPG is going to dive bot lane, and this definitely looks like bot lane dive on the other side. So Caitlyn is Caitlyn good against dive? She's good in the sense that she gets lane pressure, so it's harder to get a wave crashing into her turret. If you manage to push her into turret, she is pretty squishy. I think she's the lowest HP ADC in the game, so I feel like % is banking on the fact that their bot lane is going to win, but if their bot lane loses, maybe with a little bit of mid or jungle influence, this could collapse very quickly.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a risky draft.
It is, and we will see the Caitlyn paired up with a Bard. Kind of an interesting pairing, and the Kalista on the other side feels a little bit inty to me. Why are you picking Kalista into a lane that she can't win?
Well, I feel like Caitlyn is actually one of those matchups that still hasn't really been figured out. Kalista actually can do stuff against Caitlyn if she plays it correctly. I've heard some analysts talk about the level 1 all-in. I believe it was... I don't remember where I heard it. But if Kalista and her hard-engaged support, which is the case again, right? It's Pantheon, force a level 1 trait on Caitlyn and force her either back or force her under turret, she can actually control the lane. So I would like to see a lot of bot lane pressure for overpower, and maybe a flash forward. We talked about Kalista set, I believe, where set flashes, face breakers the enemy, and then Kalista gets the lane advantage. So it's not completely unplayable. I believe Kalista has some agency here and there. She just loses the lane if nothing happens. So she needs to make something happen there.
Fair enough. OPG is typically pretty good at making something happen. It's just not super consistent if it's favourable to them. Looks like the top lane matchup.
This draft just screams bot lane focus.
Yep.
Oh man. So the most obvious bot lane focus I've seen in a while. It's just, okay, he's not going to get any attention, 0% jungle proximity. And, I mean, it would be time for Galio, in my opinion. But it seems like Joey... Yeah, there we go. There we go. That was quite easy to predict. First to deny Galio Camille, and then also to have even more bot lane pressure. So this is... bot lane dive or bust. If they fail the first dive, you can basically surrender the game because nothing is going to happen after that. It's a very straightforward strategy. I don't mind that for 1-12 team. Just double down on the one thing you know how to do.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense to me.
They went dive buddies last game, right? Like, they just had a bunch of divey boys, and it worked. So, do it again. Sure.
Yeah, and looking at %'s draft... They are back to glory on facilitators.
Yeah,
and luckily Vinnie is not here today, so he can't rage at that.
I don't know who Vinnie is. Yeah. I don't acknowledge traders. He doesn't exist. So I mean, look. I understand that glory on Karma pains members of our community, but I actually think it's pretty good in this draft. It's enabling a Graves and a Caitlyn. I kind of like it.
Yeah,
it's good against the dive
I don't
strat.
mind it too much. I feel like you didn't have to go Karma. I think something like Twisted Fate to actually have a little bit of global pressure would have fit the draft too. Because you already outscale in teamfights anyway. You don't actually need to double down on the protection there. You already have Caitlyn Graves, so the enemy team is going to lose teamfights anyway, especially with 𝗪𝗓 into Caitlyn late game. So yeah, the Karma makes sense as a practice duo with Karma Graves to focus on 2v2 mid lane jungle of course. But is the enemy team actually going to play 2v2 mid lane jungle? I don't think so. They have Galio Nidalee. They don't want to group up as two players together and invade. They want to dive bot lane. So for me, a little bit more global pressure would have been better. Instead, it's just going to be scaling. It's going to be power farming from 𝗀𝗲𝗏 with a little bit of invade pressure, especially topside. And then just farm up your carries, farm up the Camille, farm up the Caitlyn, and go for 25 to 30 minute team fights where you ought to win because the enemy has no range.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think Karma is potentially pretty good into just the dive buddies in general, just getting a lot of shielding.
Yep,
that kind of thing. You see 𝗧𝗏 got MVP. Apparently they show that after the draft now. Okay, VTV. Normally we don't show their MVPs because they're ridiculous, but that one was pretty fair.
10-0-6. A very impressive performance. And I feel like 𝗧𝗏 overall has been a standout player for this week at least. Played very well against Slater, even though the stats looked rough, and Slater ended 10-2. The 2 deaths actually came at the start of the game, if I remember correctly, in the first one, where they just dived bot lane, and 𝗧𝗏 got a good advantage on something like 𝗪𝗏 as well. So, 𝗧𝗏, to me, one of the standout players right now for OPG, which is kind of hilarious to think about, because he was one of the big liabilities.
Yeah, fair enough, but hey, you know, get yourself a man who can glow up a little bit and improve. That's what we want to see. So,
and I want to quickly actually check. Oh no, standings don't matter because if SGB tie, they get the head-to-head anyway. Yep. So it doesn't actually matter if % lose 2-0 or 2-1. That's completely irrelevant. It's just about if OPG can actually close the series out.
Absolutely, it is just the series that matters, and of course, 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗲 still have to beat 𝗲𝗏, which is by no means guaranteed. But, I mean, again, I am cool with the last series of the split actually meaning something. It's a bit boring when you have dead rubbers.
Yeah, and 𝗲𝗏 is not playing for anything, so you might actually see a relaxed 𝗲𝗏 come in and to test some strategy, so it couldn't be a better setup than that for 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗲 to actually sneak into playoffs after no one expected them to. But first, OPG have to actually conclude the 2-0 or 2-1, so let's focus on that.
Exactly. So, I think we made it pretty clear in the draft where we are setting our eyes. And look at that. Action very early on. The exhaust is already used onto the 𝗪𝗏. But Lisa got absolutely bullied.
Yeah, failed to count the minions there. That's a little bit of a 𝗧𝗏𝗍𝗏𝗀𝗏 mistake coming in from Lisa. For some reason, he just didn't count minions. That was pretty rough. So OPG gets a good level 2 trade. They have a lot of sustain for % though, so should be fine.
Yeah, it's not the worst situation when you can go get those hot chocolates. Man, we haven't cast in 2 days, so I'm like, I've just been like reminiscing about things, and there's this really nice hot chocolate place that I haven't been to in like 10 years. Because it's on a mountain. Yeah.
Oh, actually, the town in which I grew up had a very good hot chocolate place. I want to go back there too, but it's so far away. No, it's just 2 hours away, but still, it's not worth to go there just for the hot chocolate.
Yeah, no, the place I'm thinking of is on one of the ski mountains. So, yeah, it's about a 5-hour drive.
Sad times. So many different flavors too. But DK is looking for some flavor.
Speaking of flavors, there's something spicy down here as Lisa does get burn to death. That ignite coming in good there. That's going to be first blood for OPG. And they're looking good to potentially start this one off with a win. But 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏 wants to take the wind out of their sails and successfully cuts the rigging.
It's a kill back for 𝗀𝗏𝗏, which is very good for his matchup, and it's good for the scaling for %. But it's still a kill for the bot lane on OPG, and they can continue the pressure.
look where the assists are. Kalista didn't get an assist and Caitlyn did.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. It's only one assist though. 𝗬𝗋 has a little bit of a trait in the top lane. He's pretty overextended. He can see 𝗲𝗲𝗏 on the ward though, so now it's Simon has to run away.
The wall dive was already used. He charges out. I actually do think that bot lane play goes slightly in the favour of 𝗀, because it's a kill on a support and an assist on a jungler versus a kill on a Graves and an assist on an AD carry. I think that's...
There's also a double buff reset for 𝗲𝗏𝗏, so definitely favourable for him in his matchup. If he can secure the scuttle... Oh no, they want to fight for the scuttle.
They're fighting over it, of course they are! As teleports come in, the scuttle did go over to OPG, but the phase rush got 𝗲𝗏𝗏 away.
That's a teleport from Simon. He wanted to teleport back to lane anyway, most likely, since actually very nicely used teleport. Not that much invested in terms of resources, so 𝗘𝗀𝗽𝗏 gets an advantage in terms of the level with securing the 𝗪𝗏𝗏. He's about 2 camps ahead of the enemy jungler, even after giving up his 2 double buffs to 𝗲𝗏𝗏, so still a good start for 𝗘𝗀𝗽. And Jerry with the full push in mid lane. He has teleport to get back to lane if he wants to. Could try to push in the next wave to cheat a recall, or try to assist his bot lane on a quest in the enemy jungle. What are they looking for?
They are definitely on a quest. They're looking for some dire wolves. An NPC has told them to bring them some wolf pelts. DK is keen for that experience. So there he goes. Hopefully he got a good drop rate. Left a small wolf. A little bit cheeky.
That's so frustrating if you walk into your jungle and you see the wolf. You spot it over the wall, you're thinking, oh nice, I can take another camp, and that's just one small wolf. Oh, it's such a bad feeling. Oh, good counter jungling, Ed. Very nice. Very nice grouping for H, what the fuck, high and DK.
Whoa, Yulwei.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to do that. Apologies. That was slip of the tongue. Won't happen again.
It's normally me that does that.
So, I really like the early game movement from OPG here. And Jerry with full control of mid lane. Surprisingly, in this matchup, he shouldn't really be in control of the mid lane. 𝗲𝗏 failing to push out the mid wave. And is now forced to TP. Jerry already used his TP though. So, look at him moving towards bot side. Oh, he spotted. Good pink ward for 𝗲𝗏𝗏. Look at the minimap. They try to go... They are trying to set up the dive. So 𝗘𝗀𝗽 is on top side right now, so it's very unlikely for the dive to happen right now, but the next reset timing is where it's going to be pulled off for OPG, and the game can be decided at that very point.
But of course, oh, hello, Simon. 𝗧𝗲𝗍𝗍. That is going to be the Hextech ultimatum. The ram was called, but far too late. Simon. Come on, mate.
What was that?
Shocking.
What?
Simon says int.
Yeah. You are supposed to play weak side and just sit under turret and collect some farm. You are not supposed to make something happen. That was very bad for OPG, because now Camille is super far ahead. Look at the CS. They can kill Simon again here.
Yeah, they absolutely can. Let's have a look at this replay. Simon takes a bunch of damage and then...
What? Whoa. Why do you E forward there? What?
He wanted to hit against his pillar, but it had dropped.
No, but...
Oh, even if the pillar was
even if he hits... Yeah. I think he still loses the trade hard, even if he hits the knockout. Maybe he doesn't die, but still. What?
Oh, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 got the blue! He stole it with the Peacemaker.
Did he?
Yep.
Oh, God.
He got it with the Peacemaker.
OPG, don't fall apart, please. We want to get serious here. It's still a big advantage for
Lisa's
DK.
Tearing them apart.
They gave them the free Herald in top lane.
That kind of has to happen.
𝗲𝗏𝗏 is still behind in experience though. So yeah, they traded the bot lane and wait for a Herald, which can be beneficial if you really secure all the camps and put 𝗲𝗏𝗏 further behind. You also have pushing lanes, so it's not as easy to get a lot of gold of the Rift Herald. It's probably just going to be 2 platings in either top or mid lane. So giving up the Rift Herald is not that bad a play here. I didn't actually mind it too much. But especially if you get the blue buff, because then he actually stole the buff and all the experience away. In the end, that goes over to 𝗏𝗏𝗏. He can now spam his traps. Oh, look at bot lane, look at bot lane.
Oh, it's happening your way. The dive that was promised. There is
Yes, cleanse.
all summoners available and no 𝗲𝗿𝗿 though. There's a flash cleanse. 𝗲𝗃𝗃 just says absolutely not. And instantly leaves.
Very good choice of summoners. Bails them out there, but the dive is not over yet. Jerry's looking for some kills.
Oh, Lisa, magical journeys his way out. 𝗲𝗃𝗃 pops that 90 caliber net, but he can't get away from the taunt. This is a lot of trouble here for the Sheriff, and the Banditos have taken her down. High blocking all of 𝗬𝗏𝗏's return damage, and the first bot lane dive goes well.
There we go. The team composition was screaming, we will dive bot at level 6, and they did so. Well, maybe level 7, maybe level 8, but it was still the design play, and they get a lot of gold of this one. They put 𝗲𝗃𝗃 behind.
Look how far
they need to
behind
continue
he is.
this. Though.
𝗲𝗃𝗃's 30 CS down.
30 CS and 3 plating stuns. So Vid has a big advantage here in bot lane. They still need to do this, I think, one more time, maybe 2 more times to secure the game. Oh, something happened in mid lane, but let's look at the replay first. Jerry just played this very well. Like, I mean, it's not that hard to E and W, but okay, we have another fight.
Hello, we do have another fight. 𝗬𝗏𝗿 came in. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 burns down there to the red buff. DK getting that one. And OPG strike again.
Another good kill, and they actually get a kill on top side. That's not supposed to happen. This is percent's territory, especially after the first kill in top lane for YT. This is not where OPG is strong, and they still get a kill, so that bodes well for their chances in mid-game. 2k gold lead at 10 minutes.
Yeah, that is pretty intense, and is kind of hard for percent to come back from. Have another replay of what we missed. Oh, it was just...
Oh, wow, that's so much damage.
Oh, wow.
YT looking for the ambush. Oh, good flash from DK to dodge the stun. That was perfectly played from DK, landing all the skill shots and then flashing the crucial wall dive from YT to not go down as counter kill. Very nicely done. DK is my standout player for OPG, and I hope he's going to get picked up by another team.
Oh, he's already...
No cleanse for 𝗲𝗃𝗃.
I'll have you know, DK's already been picked up. He's on my fantasy team. So, that's all that matters. I'm up against the Benedict Arnold this week. I'm just saying, everyone should be rooting for me. I'm not Vinnie. I didn't betray the VCS, so you should be rooting for me winning fantasy.
How is it going so far? It's almost over, right?
Well, it's weird this week because I don't know if they've done all the points from the missed games.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I think I'm like 5 points ahead, but there's probably about 300 points that haven't been counted.
Okay. So we are in suspense, waiting.
Yeah.
Desperately for the winner of fantasy.
Exactly. It's gonna be me or Vinny, but I'll have to see if I'm a better analyst or not.
Another invade. That is risky, 𝗬𝗏𝗏.
He
Jerry has
doesn't
no
get
ultimate
knocked
though.
up because Simon didn't actually hit against anything, so he just walks away in the end. We're all good.
Yeah, try to steal away the blue buff, but this time not successful at doing so. This time it actually goes over to the designated player. That was Jerry in the mid lane. Jerry, still no ultimate, so he can't actually get to top lane fast. This is just going to be 2 platings for YT. Please stay in range. Thank you. Nicely done. It's 320 gold. That's a little bit of gold back for percent, but it's not enough. It's still 1.5k gold deficit and so much agency for the bot side of the map for OPG.
Yeah,
you just have to be careful on top to not die, and then everything is fine.
Stream scared me for a little second there, but it's all right. Okay. We're all good.
That happened to you too. That's good to know. That's good to know.
Anyway, it is a lot of players around the bot side, and only 𝗲𝗃𝗃 here to defend.
Oh, 𝗲𝗃𝗃.
Is Bard in range to buy enough time? We'll have to wait in suspense. We are waiting, and now 𝗲𝗃𝗃 kiting away. Has got that shield, and Glory is here. Lands a lot of damage. The Piltover Peacemaker comes in, but 𝗲𝗃𝗃 now goes down. Oh, wow, where are we now? We flash forward. Oh, that was hard to track, but in the end, 1 for 1. Oh, but 𝗲𝗏𝗏 gets flashed away from...
If it's a 2 for 1.
Is it? Who else died?
Yeah, Simon and High died, so 2 kills over to percent. They win the second dive, and I talked about the dive going... if the dives go wrong, OPG kind of loses the game very quickly. Of course, they won the first dive, so losing the second dive isn't the end of the world. They are still ahead in gold. They are still ahead in dragons. DK, can he sneak in the spear to steal the blue buff?
Yes.
Oh, yes, he can.
Oh, it's all it's all DK all the time at the moment. So let's get a replay where there's not some lag. See what actually happens.
High a little bit too early, and they use the Fate's Call not to reset turret aggro, but to get in. And that's always risky, because it's one of the best turret aggro reset tools in the game, right? But if you use it just to close the gap, it's not there available. It's not there anymore.
I've got to say, I feel like there was multiple times that you could have saved 𝗣𝗲𝗿𝗄𝗏 with the Bard ult. 𝗲𝗲 was just kind of standing next to him, like, at some point, just use the Bard ult, dude.
Yeah, maybe.
Turn him gold.
I mean, they also wanted to bait OPG into the dive, right? It's not actually that bad to sacrifice your Caitlyn. She's already super far behind. She's not worth that much. It's actually kind of beneficial for them to get all the kills on YT, because who's going to respond to him in side lanes? He's on Trinity already.
True.
The On has no chance, and this could be another win condition now for Percent, with YT super far ahead in the top lane matchup.
Very true. 𝗲𝗲𝗏, you're in a lot of trouble here, mate. Manages to flash and dash. Somehow surviving. Didn't think he was going to get out of that one.
No blast cone either. He just uses face rush and flash to get away. So now look at this bot lane. Simon, please just calm down. Just take the minions. Don't try anything fancy. Instead, he actually needs to try and not die to this dive.
Yeah, this is a bit of a risky dive because there's not a huge amount of damage, but they do just chunk him out a little bit.
They are just not tanky enough to dive, I believe.
Yeah.
Not enough sustain on YT yet. And they gave up a topside objective.
Yeah, it is just 𝗘𝗀𝗃, not the biggest objective in the world, of course. But now OPG have gotten off to this early dragon snowball once again. We saw the result of that in the last game, so it's got to be said, Percent looking a little bit lost.
Yeah, it's sadly not the Infernal Drake for them, so Cloud Soul is definitely a nice asset and is going to up your chances of winning, like 10 to 15% maybe. It's not a win condition though, so they need to find something different to play around. Playing to the Dragon Snowball is always nice and is still a possible way to win this game, especially if you can force fights around objectives. Maybe do something like trade 4th Dragon for Baron. That could be a cool play. Yeah, they can attempt.
So,
after that, they actually need to find another thing to play for.
I wonder how the maths works out. Which soul gives 𝗪𝗧 more extra damage, Infernal or Cloud? Because Infernal obviously gives the burst every time it's up, but 10% movement speed, that's a lot of damage.
But movement speed doesn't actually deal damage for 𝗪𝗧, right? She can position better. But the hop range is based on her upgrade or her tier of boots. So it's not actually based on movement speed.
I thought it was movement speed based.
No.
Oh,
it doesn't matter which of the tier 2 boots you buy. It's always the same kind of difference you make.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. My mistake. Never mind.
It's not actually more damage for her. But, I mean, it's still super useful to position, of course, and get on top of 𝗣𝗲𝗏, because that is going to be the big struggle. Short range team composition. If Jerry ults in, he gets the big 50% movement speed boost.
The gap in bot lane is enormous, though. It's a 2,000 gold gap. Oh, that Bard ult
What's going on?
Okay, it was just way too late. 𝗃𝗏𝗏 got caught. Gotta say, maybe play Eagle, just in general. But it can't do that now. They still have to find a way to win this game if they do want to go to 3. And that's looking pretty rough at the moment.
Yeah, it's just very solid group mid S5 and force the issue because you can't win on side lanes. So accelerate the game, play S5 and try to get as many objectives as you can because you're going to get outscaled, especially in the side lane. And trading one turret back for YT is nice for him personally, but it doesn't actually do much for his team. It's still rough for Percent to stand up in the 4v4. And in this situation, it's kind of hard to be on either side of the top lane or the team. But let's first look at how 𝗃𝗏𝗏 dies.
What are you doing?
Another super greedy invade.
What are you doing?
Yeah, he had the time of the blue buff, so you really wanted the blue buff here. But, well...
Just a silly decision.
Especially with YT on bot lane. You know he's your strong point, your only strong point. He's the one way you win this game. He's your win condition, and you play away from him, where your team is so much weaker. It's not good.
Yeah.
That is not the good decision for 𝗃𝗏𝗏.
Go ahead.
So what I want to talk about is, this is kind of, it's a very big test for percent. And you could say it's the test to qualify for playoffs if they can actually communicate around the top lane advantage. Because usually they are much more, they play much more around team fighting 5v5 and know how to play that part of the game. But now they need to communicate which wave can we catch, which wave do we have to evacuate, when can we move on the map, when can we apply pressure and buy time for YT to go to a turret, and when do we have to group YT with our team, because if we don't, the enemy team is going to get Baron. It's a very hard thing to do. It's very difficult to play split push, especially from behind. So translating his individual advantage in top lane into a game win, this is something this team has to show us they are capable of.
And honestly, I kind of like the way OPG's drafted in these two games. I know that draft, like, it's nothing special on paper, but it's easy.
Yeah, I really like the draft. I agree with you. It's so straightforward. You would maybe flame a better team for playing it too straightforward, even to be too one-dimensional, too easy to read. But this is a 1-12 team. Why would you flame them for that? They need to win a game here.
Exactly.
They need to find anything that works for them, and going for a full dive, full bot lane focus composition is easy to execute. You don't have to think about anything. You just go with your muscle memory, you go aggressive, and that's exactly what these players want to do. Still the second bloodiest team in the league, so makes sense to me.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It is very mystifying, some of the decisions that are being made by Percent. I think Eagle might not have been quite as silly in this second game. I don't think 𝗃𝗃𝗏 was terrible in game one, but he's been very greedy on this Graves here again.
He feels like he's forced to do stuff because he knows he's Graves and he doesn't really scale well. He needs to keep up.
Hang on, we have a fight in the mid lane though, as that is definitely an engage. 𝗃𝗃𝗏, good flash away. 𝗬𝗏 is the only one that goes down in trade for two very big ults, but that's going to be a Baron started up regardless.
They really wanted to make a fight happen to get Baron, because they know bot lane is a big problem against YT. Can't really defend. They actually sent Jerry to defend bot lane. Teleport for YT available. Teleport for Jerry too.
They spot it now.
𝗃𝗏𝗏 is alive.
5,000 health on the Baron. Good poke in by Glory. Ace in the hole.
They want the fight. They want the fight.
They absolutely do. Pantheon dives in straight onto 𝗃𝗃𝗏. That's a jungler dead. Big Koro's in the back lines. That's not where he wants to be. Flashes away though. And now YT has to get it all done. He instantly is shut down. It's a 3-man Bard ult. Double kill for the Caitlyn, but I don't think there's going to be anything more. Playing well over the wall. Might just do enough damage to stop any Baron reattempt. I think he has.
So, OPG didn't want to gamble on this Baron. They could have tried to secure it and then force the fight. Because now, once again, it's one of those situations where you feel good because you won the fight, but then you look at the game and you're like, we didn't actually accomplish anything. Look at this. Hai with a good engage on 𝗃𝗏𝗏. They kill him immediately. Hai dies afterwards, but it doesn't really matter. On the other side, Simon dies because he's on, and on is pretty squishy at this point still. Glory and YT fall too. But Big Koro with some very good defensive play here on the Caitlyn to get a lot of damage in, as he pointed out. He also is going for higher value team fight rune setup. So he went for with the lethal tempo instead of the more normal fleet footwork. So he has more damage than you would expect from this Caitlyn. And he secured a lot of kills. Now actually sitting on 2 big items. So he's ready to fight.
Yeah, not actually too far behind the 𝗪𝗉 in terms of damage now, assuming he's able to deal it. This is still a very difficult game to play out for Percent, because, yeah, Ornn isn't doing much in the fights at the moment, is level 13, but hasn't actually built his second item yet, that hasn't got the big spike. It's a lot easier to just kind of do everything Ornn needs to do and then die, rather than Graves. Graves needs to actually get a few rounds of his autos off to be worth it.
Yep, that's true. And also, YT fully committing to the split push build. He's super squishy. He has only like 200 extra HP from Trinity Force. No extra HP, no Titanic Hydra, which you build into if you want to team fight. This is the full split push build, the high pressure lifesteal build on 𝗁𝗲, so he can take trades. He can even try to dive and then heal off the next minion wave. So we can see in top lane, Jerry actually with a good trade, so able to defend for now. There's a turret falling for percent. Percent is still very close in terms of gold. Only 2k behind with an outscaling composition, in my opinion at least. And the next focal point will be the dragon. It's Dragon Soul for OPG. Does percent fight for this? Or do they actually give it up deliberately and try to go for the next dragon, which is a much bigger objective to take for them?
I feel like they'll feel like they have to fight for it. But apparently not. I'm wrong. Yeah. They're backing off. They're just giving up the soul. Fair enough. I like this call. It's just a Cloud Soul. It's not that big a deal.
Yes. Cloud Soul secured for OPG. They now have to come up with something new. They try to make the big pick happen into Baron to really break this game open. It didn't quite succeed. And now they went back to the dragon focus, but now dragons are gone. So, I mean, you can play for the next big dragon and try to really make the game about Elder Dragon. But at that point, Caitlyn is going to hit 3 items. You're going to have 3 items on 𝗁𝗲. You're going to have a lot of supportive items on Glory. So the fight isn't guaranteed to go your way at that point. So maybe try to find a fight right now, as you're still in a little bit of an advantage, especially with the newly acquired Cloud Soul.
Yeah, it's impressive. Apparently OPG's actually had a good 5-man roster hit and all split. They just needed to actually bring it in. I mean, if they win this game, 𝗁 will end the split with a 100% win rate.
It's true.
It's only played 2 games, so...
Well, we have to also consider, Baron is started. They have decent vision control, but percent probably knows what is going on. Maybe not.
It goes down pretty quick. Know. Yeah, they'll know. Yep, there's a ward going over. It would have spotted enough. Control ward as well, so they're playing...
2-level advantage for DK.
Yeah, I mean...
should be able to secure this one.
He should, but 𝗬𝗲𝗏 is there. Tempered Fate is used, as is the Ornhorn. It's all onto 𝗏𝗏𝗏. He's trying to kite it out, getting those shots in. 𝗁𝗲's opened it up well. Glory entertaining DK. 𝗁𝗲, again, dives in. The ace in the hole comes out, dealing a little bit of damage. Ooh, Glory with a big spear taken. 𝗁𝗲 on the run now, and 𝗬𝗏𝗏. Oh, the rend comes in. It does enough. 𝗁 joins the fight. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 has the fancy feet, but can he deal enough damage?
One more kill for Baron.
That's disaster. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, there it is. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 takes a lot, but still had the flash. And that should be Baron for sure.
Yeah, teleport for Simon available. He wants to backport and then go for the Dragon Baron tank with teleport. There we go. Where's the wow, it's very deep. I'm not sure what. Okay, he wants the zone, apparently. He's on the chase.
Okay,
that could die to him.
Yeah, he's super low. That just no steal attempt possible now. This is going to be a Baron for OPG.
Yeah, OPG finally found the fight they were looking for so long, and now this is going to be Baron. Baron is not going to be the end of the game for percent, because it's kind of hard to siege for OPG's comp. But they have a lot of dives, so if they got Baron here, so regroup, try to go for 1 dive, and if 1 dive succeeds, the game just ends. On a nice edge right now. Oh, Jerry, so close to knocking out 𝗏𝗏𝗏, but misplaying the fight there at the start. Lisa kind of dies in between everyone, and 𝗁𝗲 buys a lot of time, but look at this spear. Oof. And with 𝗁𝗏 also with very nice rend stacks. I think 𝗁𝗲 didn't even think about getting rented there.
Yeah, I mean, it was smart from 𝗁𝗏. He just waited that shield out just to make sure that it would do enough damage.
Nicely done.
And
then we just have the Pantheon. He's faster than anyone else because of Cloud Soul. Cloud Soul actually coming in very handy, able to close the gap and get another kill that enabled Baron. There's a very nasty trap line. You don't want to step on that.
Yeah, that's when are we getting like World War I Caitlyn? So it's just landmines. Ace in the hole, tickles Simon. Oh, 𝗁𝗲 has found access to the back line. Can he do enough onto 𝗁𝗏? Has support from 𝗬𝗏𝗏, but 𝗁𝗏 wins the fight! Oh my word! 𝗁𝗏 is unstoppable! Percent collapses up in the air. Simon says get knocked up. And oh, baby please, OPG are dominant.
That should be game. Do they have time to finish? 30 seconds on 𝗘𝗀𝗿𝗏. They have Baron buff. They have 5 members. And a lot of damage on this turret. Yeah, Simon taking I'm not sure if he should take this one. You need to stop 𝗬𝗃 taking the minions away.
They've got no
They're shepherding the
teleports.
minions. Oh, 𝗬𝗃 trying to
There's
delay this
another
one.
wave.
Very good effort.
There's another wave coming in, though. I think
There's
they're
one
okay.
minion. They have 1 minion. They need to protect this one.
Oh, 𝗬𝗃's
Door
found
protection
it.
is off now.
No, they've still got one. Look, there's little caster. Look at him. He's in the back line helping out. The
He's the
towers
hero.
are down, and this is now the Nexus getting hit, and he was the little minion that could. And OPG, they start the season with a win. They end the season with a win. And Yulwei, the last series of the split, will actually mean something. 𝗳𝗂𝗵𝗲𝗄, they have a chance.
They really do, and they have to bow to OPG for creating this opportunity. A 2-0, the first ever 2-0 in the history of OPG as an organization. That is a very nice last day of games for them. They have to go to relegations. They have to finish last. It was already confirmed. But this is the way to go out for sure. This is the way they wanted to end the season, and they might be able to drag 𝗄𝗏 with them into the relegations again. What a series! I did not expect this to happen. So many good plays from OPG. The straightforward team composition, very easy to execute, but well executed.
Yeah.
And they just run over 𝗄𝗏.
Absolutely, and we can't quite call them a blue shell where they screwed up someone at the front of the pack, but they
No,
were kind of
it's a
like
red
a banana peel that was dropped on the track the lap before,
Ah.
and 𝗄𝗏 definitely spun out. That was not a good performance from 𝗄𝗏. OPG played well, don't get me wrong, but 𝗄𝗏 did not turn up.
Yeah, I believe 𝗄𝗏 is on a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah. They
Oh,
are
even more
struggling.
than that.
They are really struggling, and now
No, it's a 6-game losing streak, yeah.
𝗄𝗏, they've looked really ugly at this back end of the split, and now the 𝗳𝗂𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗄 have to be sitting there saying, well, we have a
It's
shot.
now or never.
This is it. They just have to beat 𝗍𝗏𝗄. And at least their fate is in their hands now, right? That's the worst feeling, is if the series had been played backwards, it would have felt really bad for the 𝗵𝗲𝗄, because you would have been sitting there praying.
Yeah,
Now,
for
they
sure.
just have to win. And we'll find out soon if they do, but go ahead.
Yeah, and 𝗄𝗏 now really hopes that 𝗍𝗏𝗄 actually wants to play the game, because 𝗍𝗏𝗄 does not have to.
Yeah.
𝗍𝗏𝗄 has no stakes in this last game. 𝗍𝗏𝗄's control, and
𝗍𝗏𝗄
no
is
one could
coming
really
fifth.
fault them for that.
Yep, 𝗍𝗏𝗄 is coming 5th. That's all. They can't go to 4th, they can't go down to 6th. They come 5th this split, no matter what. So yeah, 𝗄𝗏 is quickly sending some texts saying like, hey guys, don't play TFT comps, please.
Please.
Because we need you to win this one. Well, we will find out who will be going to playoffs in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere, guys. OPG start us off with some excitement, and we will bring you that second series that will finally confirm playoffs. And Yulwei, I am very excited. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go make some sandwiches and that, and get ready for the second series. See you
Some
guys
bread
soon.
and butter, did I say?
Yeah, a bit of bread and butter. See you guys soon.